Hey, IOStax here. Today I will do the probably most advanced and in-depth video I have ever created. So if you feel like you're still a beginner, then this may be a bit overwhelming. But if you want to see how I go about analyzing a pro match, then I invite you to listen. I will pause the gameplay when I have something to say about it, and if there are no comments, then the gameplay will continue running at full speed. I hope you'll enjoy it. This match is the grand finals of the Overwatch Winter Premiere, and we're going to play on Lijiang Tower. And Immortals gets to play against Ghosts, who are formerly known as Kungarna.
Quite a brilliant third and fourth place game just a little while ago. We can only hope that this final can match up to that, and I certainly think it will. These guys have incredible amounts of individual skill, but also team-oriented skill as well. And you got to keep an eye on Grim Reality. This guy's aim, you saw some of those McCree clips in our intro. That guy can...
Ghost's team comp is a lot more well-rounded. I still think that the 3-tank setup is stronger than Immortal's double flank combo, and Connor's Roadhog pick means that he will be able to deal with Tracer and Genji a lot easier. On the other hand, Michael can go wreak havoc, since no pick on Immortal's side really contests that. However, Immortals has one key advantage in their ult fluidity. Ult fluidity basically means that a team always has an answer. A team with bad ult fluidity uses their ultimates once to win a fight, but then they don't have anything to defend, what they have taken, because they rely on one ultimate to win them fights. A comp with good ult fluidity can use one combo, but they still have something else that can win them a fight until their primary combo recharges. The only really good combo that Ghost has is their Zarya Tracer, but the rest is rather meh. Sure, Reinhardt and a nano-boosted Roadhog can win fights too, but compared to Immortal's setup it's nothing really. Immortals has the Graph Pulse Bomb combo and a nano-boosted Genji with Lucio ult to support. They charge at roughly the same speed, meaning that ideally they should always have an answer for every fight, whereas Ghost relies a bit more on preparation and setup. So Ghost has the Roadhog as an answer to Immortal's mobility-based comp, but Immortals wins in terms of ultimates. The main goal of both teams at the start is to scout the enemy team comp, so it's good that they both run a Tracer. As soon as Grim Reality sees Connor on Roadhog, I expect him to fall back a little bit. If he manages to play around the hook and waits for him to use it, he can do a lot of damage. His main priority should definitely be on whatever, on Ana. While Roadhog is rather self-sufficient, same with Zarya to be honest, the triple tank comp is going to suffer a lot more from losing Ana, whereas Grim on Tracer and Agilities on Genji should be able to stay afloat with Lucio alone, either by dodging stuff with his speed aura or just healing, although that's still suboptimal. Ghost is a lot more exploitable here, either by abusing their lack of consistent fighting power or by using their strict dependence on Ana.
Hit heads, whether it's on Tracer or McCree, he can do them both and very well at that. Looks as though Immortals...
Hyped, which is Immortal's Zarya, using his E on Chance, which is Immortal's Reinhardt, so early was super risky. While the extra charge he got was definitely good, he gave Remix, who is Ghost's Reinhardt, an opener to work with, and since Bebe, who is Ghost's Zarya, hasn't used his shield, he can support Remix charge perfectly, getting both charge, or energy, and an alive Reinhardt from the play.
Want to bring out this double DPS comp, this 2-2-2 setup, and Ghost looking to be here with the triple tank setup. Michael will be on Tracer.
Here we can see the play in action. Anticipating the Reinhardt charge to use Zarya E is both more consistent and safer than using it preemptively and forcing it.
So will be a lot of who can win this Tracer v Tracer battle, be more impactful. Already Michael making his presence known, taking down Chance, starting things off for Ghost.
It's a good move by Grim to return back to the rest of his team. Losing his Reinhardt means that they won't really be able to take a fight. He could stay in Ghost's sidelines though, getting some ult charge. Ideally he wants to use his ult once before Hype gets his, but with his current ult charge speed that shouldn't really be an issue. Michael is playing super aggressive, which in of itself is a smart move, but I don't think he coordinated that very well with Baby Bay, his Zarya, as he loses line of sight with his team, which almost cost him his life. If he had just focused on Verbo, Immortal's Lucio, he could have delayed them some more, after which he could advance with his team and push Hype further back. As long as Connor tries to keep Grim at bay, Michael can do whatever he wants really.
With a one-player advantage, now Grim Reality and him are going at it a bit, but Michael will just bring himself back and go to the point. Immortals, since they don't have Chance around, they'll have to regroup and they're...
Ghost winning the first fight puts them ahead in terms of ult charge, and they should be able to defend against Immortals with their Graph Pulse Bomb combo, but both Agilities and Aethan are charging their ultimates as well. Honestly, Immortal's best chance of retaking that point is to not even wait for Ajax to get his ult and just nano Genji as soon as possible. Ghost has no answer, which was apparent from their initial team comp. If Immortals manages to retake with a nano-boosted Genji, they will however need to defend against Ghost Zarya Pulse Bomb combo, and Verbo really doesn't have enough ult charge so far in order to deal with that. So they need to play more aggressively and stay spread out, or if they want to keep the upper hand in case they take the point. For now though, Ghost can just get free ult percentage, and Grim can't do nearly as much as he wants to with Connor around and Baby Bay keeping Blam or Bam alive.
Looking to engage right now.
A smart move by Immortals there. I mean, once chance goes down, you're pretty...
I disagree with iRemix charging in there. If we look at the team comps again, then Ghost has the upper hand in a non-ultimate fight, and it is pretty safe to assume on their end that Immortals doesn't have an ultimate yet. They should have kept their ground instead of forcing the Reinhardt charge. While it would pay off for them to kill someone with the charge, the risk of getting Reinhardt out of position and using the Zarya bubble could backfire pretty hard. However, it could be argued that even though the Rein charge failed, Baby Bay and Connor managed to follow up, denying Immortals the possible chance of setting iRemix out of position. With Ajax amping the speed boost, it could be very difficult to pick off iRemix.
Pretty much gonna lose that fight either way. Don't give any more ultimate charge, but man, Ghost already slamming back into Immortal.
Their aggression lends them a pick on chance, but it leaves Blam very vulnerable since Baby Bay just used his shield on iRemix. Agilities takes the opportunity to pick Ghost's Ana off, and to be honest, the fight looks a lot more favorable to Immortals here, as they don't really need the Reinhardt to win the fight, whereas Ghost is going to struggle without Ana's output. This is a really good opportunity to go aggressive for Immortals, especially with Grim getting his ult pretty soon, which will definitely lead to a kill as Ghost lacks the burst healing to counter that. They do have the Zarya bubble, but Baby Bay tends to use them pretty aggressively anyways, so it wouldn't surprise me if he used it on another iRemix charge again.
Chance going down again, agility spines Blam.
That's not what you want to start off with for Immortals. Losing chance twice like that is crucial. You need your Reinhardt for these pushes. Michael, very hurt, manages to make his way out of there.
That whiffed ult by Grim really hurts them. With Ana still coming back from spawn, that pick could have secured a fight for Immortals, and Michael being in their backline only weakens Ghost's frontline, making it a lot easier for Grim and Agilities to apply pressure. However, that's not the case, leading to Michael getting a pulse bomb on Agilities, defending for now, but to be honest, Immortals already missed their chance for a clean retake, so that pulse bomb by Michael was just securing the point for Ghost even more. One interesting thing about that pick though is that Aethan on Immortals almost has his nano boost, whereas Agilities needs longer to charge it now that he's dead. This just costs time, so all in all I think Michael should have saved his ultimate until Baby Bay had his, but it is understandable that he wanted to delay the nano boosted Dragon Blade by a little, although it's not ideal in my eyes.
Now Pulse Bomb's going to come in, Connor J able to dodge it, so now a Pulse Bomb from Michael landing right on the back of Agilities. They trade 1 for 1 as Remix now goes down, but Ghost are continuing to find frags here. Baby Bay picking up 2, make it...
That fight was won anyways in the end, so Michael's ultimate didn't really add much. I mean, Genji couldn't have done much to their backline anyways. But it is not as bad since Connor almost has his ultimate, meaning that Baby Bay has someone to combo his ult with. It's still not an optimal setup since all team wipes by Ghost rely on Baby Bay, but it means that Baby Bay, what a stupid name by the way, has more leeway about using his ultimate as he can expect some sort of follow-up in most cases. The only problem I see with this is that Connor could use his ultimate to counter Immortal's nano-boosted Dragon Blade. It would either push Agilities way back, or it would force his deflect, which would mess up his ultimate big time. Doing that has a lot more value than using it in combination with the Zarya ultimate, so getting into that dilemma because of Michael using his ultimate earlier is really unfortunate.
3, in fact, for Baby Bay on that Zarya, giving himself a Graviton yet. And now up to 40% and counting, will have ultimates to work with, some pretty big ones, and they could play aggressively here, Ghost, if they want to, up towards that doorway in the choke.
Absolutely, but they're probably going to give a little bit of room for Immortals to come in so that they can catch them in this.
I don't quite see why Immortals would want to push through here. It won't lead to anything. In my eyes, they should have waited 6% until Genji gets his ult and use that to engage via main, instead of pushing there getting ambushed by Ghost's Graviton Surge. They have been losing fights consistently now, so they can expect that if Hyped got his ult at 70%, Baby is going to have his pretty much 100%, so they shouldn't have been that surprised by this backstab. Obviously, Verbo doesn't have his ultimate, which would have saved them, or at least forced Connor to use his ultimate as well.
Graviton or Earth Shatter and send them back to spawn. There it is, the Graviton already in the middle of Immortals.
Oh, it's gonna be so much damage. 3 kills coming out for Ghost, starting off very, very well. And now up to 60%. They're looking to clean up here a bit if they can as well. Stagger some of these deaths. Grim Reality's just going to go ahead and reset, flying off the edge just making sure that they weren't able to get that stagger.
With Chance taking this much damage by Michael, they really shouldn't have forced a push here. If they knew that Ajax had his ult, then they wouldn't have pushed in anyways, and if they knew he didn't have it, then they would feel rushed to go in as soon as possible. They're using 3 ultimates here, Lucio's Sound Barrier, Nano Boost and Dragon Blade, to win the fight, which in theory would have worked great, but with Chance dying so early, Remix can ult the entirety of Immortals, completely negating whatever Agilities is trying to do. To be fair, Agilities failed his dash as well, meaning that he wastes a lot of time just going from enemy to enemy, but using the ult there definitely felt forced. They should on one hand make sure that the team is healthy before going for an engage. They need to make sure that they know the enemy's positions. I mean, they were oblivious to Michael standing to the side battering Chance, and Agilities needs a plan for his ultimate. Them not knowing where the members of Ghost were positioned just messed their play up, and they used so much for it. Even if they only used Nano Blade a couple seconds later and Ajax would have countered it with his own ultimate, then Ghost would have no answer for Immortals' imminent Graph Pulse Bomb, giving Immortals a chance to take the point. But instead they tried to make the Nano Blade work, even though they had another option to take.
So, again, going for this reset, Immortals have a Nano Blade available, and they are going to come in with it. Sending off Agilities needs to find value off of the back of this, and they've been able to negate much of this or dodge it. They do.
That nano-boosted Rotok ultimate was a mistake. Fight was won. They got 3 ultimates out of Immortals. They really didn't need to use 2 ultimates for essentially nothing. I can't see the perspective very well here, but in my eyes using those 2 ultimates was unnecessary and may bite them in the butt later on. But then again, they have Ajax ultimate, so they remain pretty safe for now, especially with the point capture closing in on the net.
Use a Sound Barrier on top of it, but Ghost...
Grim using his ultimate here really sucks. They already wasted 3 ultimates for a fight they end up losing. Why throw the Pulse Bomb in? Hyped has his ultimate very soon, and Graph Pulse Bomb is their last chance of touching the point. He shouldn't have panicked and just waited a bit.
Already 3 kills, Connor J using the whole hog with the Nano Boost, but they...
Ajax using his ultimate was a bit too aggressive. While they could have bought some time, they should have just waited for Immortals to attack again. Sound Barrier and Michael's ultimate would have saved them the trickling at the end, and it could be considered a safer alternative.
They have such a strong presence up here in front of their spawn. There's no way they're getting back in. Ghost in total domination, even going for a bit of a spawn camp here as well. There's just nothing they can do. Absolute disrespect.
Look at the point capture and look at the Graviton Surge. If that Graviton Surge had a pulse bomb in it, then there was definite potential for a retake, even though it may seem like the round is already lost. Ajax using his ultimate means that Ghost has no way to responding. The only problem would be time, as Grim would need to be super fast getting from the Graviton Surge to the point. But if Agilities hadn't died earlier and instead walked towards the point to trigger overtime, they could have done it. So in conclusion, as soon as Agility saw that his nano-boosted Dragon Blade wasn't working because Remix used his Earth Shatter, he should have given up the fight and go towards the point so that he can later on trigger overtime. Then Grim Reality shouldn't have used his ultimate, but instead wait for Hype to get his and prep for a retake. Once they respawn, Hype lands his ultimate on the way to Cocky Ghost. Combo that with Grim, pick them all off because they have no Lucio ultimate to counter it, and Agilities not being needed at the fight anyways without his ultimate could have taken the point before the percentage hit 100%.
Respect coming out from Ghost off the start here.
Ghost clearly sending a message. They've got an answer for everything Immortals has thrown. A Pulse Bomb being challenged by a Nano Boost, but actually, all the way in the back, it's gone into overtime. But right now, it doesn't look like Immortals might be able to stop it. Agility's barely alive. That Earth Shatter landing.
Chance able to get quite a few inside of that Earth Shatter, but things need to start connecting for Immortals, or they're going to go down 1-0 off the start. Graviton coming out, trying to see maybe if they can suck up a couple guys inside of that one, but Immortals need to get someone on the point. Hyped is there to answer the call, but he's going to get sent out of his mech and then quickly taken care of by Blam afterwards, and now Grim Reality is trying to keep hope alive for Immortals. They're trickling players onto the point, but there's no way they'll actually be able to win this fight. They need to At the moment, we will now head on to our next phase here. Immortals continuing.
A very sensible decision by Immortals to go for a Roadhog. Their team comp mimics what Ghost had last round. Very predictable, but also better than what they had before. While they only have one good ult combo, they aren't lacking behind compared to Ghost, who also only have one. Zarya plus the Roadhog or D.Va ultimate. But now they're going to be able to deal with flankers, which Ghosts don't have anymore by the way, but more importantly the D.Va. This is after the Year of the Rooster patch, meaning that Michael is going to have some serious problems against the Roadhog, and even Grim on Tracer. Grim is going to get insane amounts of ult charge, meaning that if he plays smart, he can keep Blam dead all the time, so that he can continue farming ult charge on the 4 tanks without Blam getting any in return, which would make the Tracer pick completely worthless. Ghost now relies even more on Blam, and with Immortals running a Tracer and a Genji in the first round, it was predictable they were gonna keep at least the Tracer. This round will not only be decided by the Reinhardt-Zarya synergy, but also by Grim Reality's pressure on Blam and ConnorJ's pressure on Grim, while Agilities tries his best to keep Michael down so that Grim has more space to work with, because the defense matrix could be very annoying for him. One advantage that Ghost have is their insane tankiness, which makes Immortal's Graviton Pulse Pop combos near useless. I mean, he needs to go through a Reinhardt shield, defense matrix, and 2 Zarya bubbles. That's pretty hard. While Ghost lacks this combo, they are basically completely nullifying Immortal's teamfighting combo, whereas Graviton with a D.Va or Rotok ultimate cares neither about Verba's sound barrier nor about Immortal's triple tank.
Play similar comp though, Agility's actually making a switch over to Roadhog. And Ghosts are going to be going for the quad tank. Bard just posturing at the moment. Agility's getting a good right click out.
ConnorJ being distracted by Chance's charge really gives Grim the space to work here, killing Baby Bay on Zarya with ease and further pressuring the backline. While Connor managed to kill Chance in the end, I don't think trading Zarya for a Reinhardt was worth it. If it weren't for iRemix killing Agilities, this fight would look a lot more grim for Ghost. And it is really bad that Agilities didn't manage to unmech D.Va, not only for the free ult charge, and I can't really heal D.Va's destroyed mech, and the amount of damage Road does thanks to her huge headshot hitbox. I think it is a mistake, though, that Immortals didn't push onto the point, while the entirety of Ghost was busy with Chance in the building to the left. They could have had the upper hand and fought on their own terms by taking a position on the point, but they hesitated for too long and only Grim stands on the point to somewhat zone in. Although Connor probably won't care too much about that.
It was ConnorJ, got the hook but couldn't quite convert on the kill. Nice charge in from Chance but couldn't quite find the kill either, and ConnorJ actually gets the better of Chance. It's a 1-player advantage on the fight for Ghost. They did lose Baby Bay early on. Now Grim Reality's turning the tides a bit back for Immortals. Nice hook from ConnorJ.
While Grim Reality continues to kill stuff uncontested because Connor focuses other targets, which costs iRemix his life, Verbo gets picked pretty soon. I think this trade is pretty even, and with Ghost having the better position here, the first point is theirs. Immortals really should have capitalized more on Ghost chasing after Chance, and Grim Reality destroying Baby Bay and Remix in the end.
Sending Verbo back into the respawn queue.
Connor not focusing his attention on Grim Reality, who right from the start was expected to be Immortal's dominant player, now that Agility switched off Genji, really screws with him here. While he was killing Verbo and Chance, Grim got incredible amounts of ult charge on both iRemix and Baby Bay, who are both high HP tanks, which gives him this super early pulse bomb, letting him 2 kills and a chance of Immortals taking the point that was Ghost for the taking. Very crucial mistake of Ghost to not focus their attention on the one thing that can kill them. I mean, Chance and Verbo are the last targets that needed to die on Immortals lineup.
That was ConnorJ still on point though. Oh, that pulse bomb from Grim Reality, 2 kills. Off the back of that should allow them to flip-flop the point very quickly indeed. Grim just 5%.
Just picked the entirety of Immortals, put him on his back, and got all the way through that. 4 kills for Grim Reality in that last fight, one after another, under constant pressure from Ghost. He is not going to let this match go easily.
Now, just waiting here. Grim Reality, though, already on fire. And they are looking to be taking a push in through this white room side.
It was a good idea of Grim to show up behind Ghost as they try to push in hopes of killing Blam, which should be his primary job and upon which all of Ghost's lineup stands. But him getting sleep darted was both avoidable and crushing, as Immortals lacks any stopping power while Grim is sleeping, so Ghost take this point here is to be expected. I didn't expect Blam himself giving his team this opportunity, but Connor to do so, but apparently he has to do it himself.
All the way to the right. Grim Reality actually getting put to sleep, so they'll essentially be a man down. Nice hook from Agilities, but now he's got a very angry Reinhardt charging after him. He takes a second to take a breather, but still he's...
While missing this hook here may seem crucial, it wouldn't have done anything anyways. Immortals already lost their Ana and Reinhardt, so Agilities has no way of getting healed up while the nano-boosted iRemix is being hooked. If Grim would have had a chance to partake in this fight, then he could have easily killed Blam and prevent both the nano boost and the insane amount of healing he puts out in that fight.
Just getting hacked away at, and Remix eventually able to finish him off, and they've already gotten quite a few frags here, Ghost, and They are definitely looking to retake this point. Just need to find Grim Reality, who's managing to stall things out a little bit, and Baby Bay with a punch to send him back to the respawn. So Ghost will pretty quickly convert here.
Ghost recovering.
Immortal's best chance for a retake here is to use all of their ultimates in one big fight. Hyped comboing his ultimate with Grim Reality alone won't be nearly enough to win a fight, especially not with Ajax getting his ultimate pretty soon, something they should know as Verbo almost has his and them losing the last fight, as the insane tankiness of Ghost will be able to stand against it easily. If they do, however, manage to kill Blam and get a really good Reinhardt ult down, probably even in combination with a Zarya ultimate, which is incredibly ineffective but almost ensures that the Earthshatter will land, they can shred through Ghost's front line with ease and take the point. They won't be able to hold it, but at least they will prevent Ghost from getting points until they get a better plan, like getting D.Va instead of Roadhog in order to better protect Grim Reality, their only chance of winning, really.
Very quickly, they're getting their first points on the board here on this stage, but Immortals, they're going to be coming back with basically a full house of Ultimate 6 on the table. Ghost in a very similar situation, but not quite up to Blam's Nano Boost yet, and right now Immortals, they're coming around the outside. They're going to come and try and take Ghost on head on. Right now, ahead in the Shield War.
Graviton at the ready for Hyped. He's looking to send that one off. He will connect with it, but now a self-destruct comes in. Oh, the shield went down from Chance. Just beforehand, a huge Earthshatter coming out from Remix. That'll leave them to clear.
Michael zoning the entirety of Immortals with his ultimate was nice, but not really the opening play. The opening play was actually by Hyped himself, using his Graviton way too early when he has no follow-up and no chance of getting through the Rein shield. Once the ultimate was over, there was nothing that could stop Ghost from engaging with the Earthshatter anymore. D.Va's ultimate completely fucked Chance's shield, and it was clean house from then. This double effect of Michael zoning Immortals from their own Graviton surge and destroying the Reinhardt shield in order for their own Reinhardt to clean house is what made this play really interesting. I think they wanted to combo the D.Va ultimate with Baby Bay, and maybe he mistook Hyped Zarya ultimate with that of his own Zarya, but the consequences definitely played into his hands.
Clean up on everything, Remix with 3 right there, plowing through Immortals off of a massive Earthshatter. Then Ghosts are still looking quite good here. As it all started off, that self-destruct came in at such a good time from Michael. He sent it in just as the Graviton came out, not really allowing Immortals to engage on the Graviton.
I think they were expecting Baby Bay to get his off. He tried to come into the side, but he actually got put to sleep by Athan, but it still worked out for Ghost. Remix just coming in and absolutely clearing the field.
Looking good here, and they have a good...
This one is kind of hard to see, but Agility got nano boosted. Agility's nano boosted ultimate right here doesn't really do too much, as expected since Michael still has his defense matrix. 2 ultimates used that weren't killing stuff, but it did push Connor away, making the combo that Baby Bay planned with Connor and a nano boosted Michael a lot more ineffective.
Good positioning to hold. Connor J has his whole hog as well. He'll be able to at least dish out quite a bit of damage, but sound barriers on both sides, and actually Michael's going to get the nano boost, but he has been dealt quite a bit of...
Connor hooking Agilities and killing him is really nice, but again, it's not Grim. Grim gets the pick on Blam, and as we mentioned multiple times earlier, Ghost crumbles once Blam dies. Grim can take his time slowly melting the entire Ghost lineup with basically no sustain at all, whereas the pick on Agilities really didn't take much away from Immortals. Ghost relies so much on the Ana, which makes them vulnerable to Grim, allowing him to keep Immortals afloat.
Damage, 1-for-1 trade, and much of Immortals still over in this White Room side. They are now starting to find these kills. They lose Verbo. There is still a few players around. Michael out of his mech will be taken care of by Grim Reality, and no one's contesting Grim Reality at the moment. He's in the back line, just able to do whatever he wants, really, completely uncontested. And now Immortals feeling good. They'll get back onto the point. Ghost, though, able to make it up to 90%. Immortals have to be pretty much perfect for the rest of this stage.
It's a 1-possession game for Ghost, but Immortals still have quite a ways to go. Grim Reality so far, borderline on...
Ghost just needs to act fast here. It's not really possible for them to predict that Hyped almost has his ultimate, but if they act soon enough, they can win a fight with Reinhardt's Earthshatter, capture the point, and then stall it with Michael's self-destruct and Connor's whole hog. That's probably their best bet in this case. On the other hand, they can wait and dry push, however that won't really help much since even if Hyped uses his ultimate, Chance will definitely have it ready for the fight afterwards, including Grim Reality potentially getting a pick on Blam again. I never thought I would have to say it, but with D.Va's nerf and Roadhog's changes, Tracer is actually very dominant against a tank-oriented setup. The main reason for this, though, is that Grim is really good at dealing with Blam while avoiding Connor, and the fact that Connor doesn't give Grim as much attention as he needs. Not that Tracer is a particularly strong pick.
Stoppable force for Immortals. Immortals are going to have to mount a better defense than they did last time. Ghost starting to position around the backside, and it's going to come down to whether...
This right here is Immortals crumbling to pieces. That sleep dart on Chance cost them the point. Blam's sleep darts are on point, early on Grim and now on Chance. This gives Connor the opportunity for the hook, which gives iRemix the opportunity for the Earthshatter, and everything after that is history because they engaged fast, meaning that Immortals has no way of reacting since they needed to wait for ultimates. Honestly, Chance not holding up his shield is a big mistake, and it's super fundamental.
Remix can hit this Earthshatter at the right time. Chance is asleep. The opportunity is wide open. Chance is getting pulled in. He's going to go down really soon.
That Biotic got set right on him. Very unlucky for Immortals. They've already lost 3 players, and they had some ultimates at the ready, but now Ghost are just all over them. They only lost 1 player in the process. Remix went down, but it's all Ghost on the point. They will have one last attempt. Grim Reality narrowly escaping the hook there.
It's going to be on Grim to keep this whole game alive.
He will have to go get on it.
Ouch. Earlier I mentioned that they should stall with Michael's and Connor's ultimate once they get the point with a fast push. That D.Va ultimate may have been too early, and he should have just used it on Chance to get the kill on him, or wait longer until people from Immortals actually respawn.
Last second engaging with, well, actually the self-destruct getting sent over top by Michael. I believe that was, and now Ajax had already started it off. Connor J taking out Chance yet again, who's been struggling so far. Whole hog from Connor J. He's so low on health, they need to focus him down. Immortals with 2 kills as they try and fight their way back into this stage of Lijiang Tower. With the Graviton coming out from Immortals, there's just not a whole lot of follow-up there. And now Ghost have a pretty strong presence on the point, but Immortals definitely not out of it yet. Baby Bay with...
While the really bad Michael ult was one of the reasons they couldn't hold the point here, the fact that Baby Bay risked his life to kill Hyped is not helping much either. He had his ultimate. He shouldn't have risked his life for that kill. He should have been trying to survive so that he can get a value ultimate out. They are really not giving Grim enough attention, although he wasn't the sole deciding factor here as the casters make it out to be.
Full charge is just going to, put Hyped inside of the oven there. He couldn't get out of it, and it's a whole bunch of kills coming out for Immortals, as now they actually will flip-flop that point right back. Ghost will be able to take one more fight.
Immortals clawing their way back in. Ghost should have, about 1, especially now that's crossing 80%. Immortals gonna have a pulse bomb. They're gonna want to try and guarantee Remix goes down relatively early, but I guarantee Ghost knows that. Baby Bay still holding onto his Graviton, and a sound barrier for Ajax. Both sides have a lot of weaponry.
Ajax should have expected Baby Bay to have his ultimate up here. Using his ultimate this early was, for one, absolutely not necessary, and secondly, it was a trigger for Baby Bay to use his ultimate and take away Immortal's damage potential. Most importantly, Grim. No offense, agilities. While Ghost crumbles when Blam dies, Immortals crumbles when Grim dies. iRemix knocking down Hyped on D.Va was just the cherry on top to prevent the defense matrix, but I think they could have won it even without, which just shows how well Baby Bay's patience pays off, as he doesn't force the play, instead waiting for the enemies to expose their weakness. Lucio not having his ult anymore.
Here, but as it comes in, Baby Bay, he's already looking, he's focusing, he's taking down Chance, and the Graviton is out.
Oh, good patience with that. Baby Bay already 2 kills off the back of it. They had a nice sound barrier to try and mitigate most of the damage, but Ghost, actually, while they're back on the point, it's just going to be this one final attempt for both teams, really, but it's all going in Ghost's favor. They have the player advantage on the point. Ethan goes down. They lost Hyped, and it is all them. And at the moment, there is going to be a self-destruct let down, and oh man, they got to get onto the point right now. Chance tried to charge, but got booped by Ajax off the side, and there's going to be a Dragon Blade to try and secure it from agilities, but couldn't get anything off the back of it. Ghost, they managed to get one, which was Chance off that self-destruct, and then from there, that's an easy Earthshatter for Remix. He has no shield to deal with. He has free reign on.
Immortals is going back to their initial comp, but with a few changes. Having Chance on Winston instead of Ryan is so much better, and the Zenyatta pick is basically tailored for Grim to carry. He can discard targets for easy one-clips, he can keep her alive across the map basically, and he can melt Connor, the only threat to Grim. Chance is more of a distraction than anything, maybe to support Grim and diving Blam. I would go for a Roadhog instead, so that they can have some self-sufficiency now that they lack the healing by Ana. Agilities on Genji is fine too. I mean, Ghost keeping the comp from last game is completely understandable, and in my opinion really good. Both Immortals and Ghost only have one good ult combo, anything involving the Zarya ultimate, although Agilities can do some stuff with his Dragon Blade when Verbo supports him with the sound barrier.
And managed to get at least 5 more kills or so in that. So now we head on to Night Market.
Ethan now on Zenyatta, Chance on Winston. Immortal's going to go for a more dive-heavy comp, perhaps give a little bit of mobility to Chance, perhaps finding different ways to get those rotations we saw going on with them yesterday, where just so many different flankers in all the different places.
Hard to see, but Baby Bay used his shield on Connor. I don't think that was necessary, but more importantly, he doesn't have a Z anymore, and I Remix charges in. The synergy from the first round is missing here, and without the shield, Remix won't survive the charge, especially with the discord he gets at the end of it. They should have planned the charge and not used the bubble on Roadhog, or not charge at all as soon as he used the bubble on someone else. This is most likely a communications problem.
True nature of the dive, but so far Ghost not really giving up a whole lot of territory.
Oh, Remix charged in.
It is really hard to see what happened to Blam here, but it seems like he died to Agilities. I have no idea what he did there though.
Didn't quite manage to.
Right here we can see that Roadhog, Lucio and Zen are all chilling on the point. So Blam had no protection from his team and no vision on his team. His positioning was very questionable and he made himself an easy target to Agilities. The problem that I see afterwards though is that Agilities focused his attention on Ajax, who could do nothing basically. He needed to focus either Connor or Baby Bay, because compared to Ajax they actually pose... Sorry, I'm still alive. Because compared to Ajax, they actually pose a threat to him and the rest of his team.
Find his target and was finished off.
The decision by Chance to jump in here was downright suicidal. Not only was his HP incredibly low due to both his supports being dead, who couldn't really heal much anyways, but he is also fighting a 3v3 in an unfavorable lineup. Roto can absolutely melt him, Zarya can melt through Genji's deflect, and the only one remaining is Michael versus Grim, which should go even. We saw that Grim generally had more pressure as Tracer in this game, but that's not enough to outweigh the bad matchup, and the fact that Chance has basically no HP. While it was super close that Agilities couldn't kill Michael, it wouldn't have changed anything on the outcome, and they should have realized way earlier that the fight was actually lost.
Off by Grim Reality, it's a 2-for-2 trade. Immortals actually now losing 3 players, but so have Ghosts, so both teams still very much in this fight, but Agility's getting lit up at the moment. Almost was able to get Michael, who hung on by the skin of his teeth. That should allow Ghosts to cap the point first here. Indeed it will. They'll draw first blood.
That was about as close as it gets. Michael barely taking down Agilities in time. Agilities now on Genji. This is definitely looking like it's much more of Immortals' game to get back into here. Grim Reality holding onto a Pulse Bomb. That's going to be a danger zone for Remix. Maybe possibly even Connor J so far.
Michael's flank here is a great idea, but he starts shooting way too early and forces the engagement really hard. Should have just waited for another blink, get close to Ethan and one-clip him before the enemies even notice him. I think he was panicking, but there was enough pressure coming from the rest of his team on the point that he doesn't need to worry, especially not with the recall up. One-clipping him would force Verbo to heal, and it would remove the primary threat to Remix and Connor, even Baby Bay. Discord Orb.
Grim doing a great job of trying to focus out some of the important players, but on both of these teams, every single player is a playmaker.
Ethan really shouldn't have bothered with dealing with Michael here. Michael is just distracting, and I am surprised Ethan is falling for it. While Ghost pushes in on the point, they lack the support Zen provides, which is a lot higher than what Michael gives to his team. And it's very unlikely for Ethan to win a one-on-one duel against Tracer anyways, so this is not a risk he should take.
Michael doing a good job of just harassing Ethan, making him less and less of a factor as the game goes on because he constantly has a Tracer on himself. Now
Agilities could have really used a Harmony Orb here.
Going in with this Dragon Blade just swung at by Remix, quickly taken out of the fight. So they have traded a bit back and forth. Ghost with a 1-player advantage though, and Grim Reality's trying to bring Immortals back into this one, but so far it's Ghost all over this point. Remix incredibly hurt. They need to convert on this kill. He's easy pickings there, and finally Grim shuts him down. Grim with 2 kills, in fact. He's going to be looking for a little bit more here, maybe even able to find Ajax. Needs to be careful though, low health. He's got Michael.
While Grim's play was very nice, it wasn't enough. Him relying on the health pack, or using his recall, shouldn't be necessary if Ethan had supported him. Killing 2 people before his death is nice, but not enough to make up for the weak start of the fight.
After him, losing that 1v1 Tracer.
Just look at the amount of damage Chance does to Baby Bay now. This could have been possible right from the start, but Michael didn't finish off Ethan, which eventually cost him the point.
Battle well done by Michael, and they're going to continue to go at it here. Baby Bay, so low on health, they just don't have the sustain on this point anymore. Ghost, and I mean, regardless of whether or not Immortals end up taking this point, Ghosts have done such a good job of stalling things out, allowing them to get, I mean, an extra 20% or so, and now they're at 65% just as Immortals get the point for the first time.
Plus, they have a lot of ultimates to start working with, an Earthshatter, Graviton looming here. Michael will definitely...
While the Graviton and Earthshatter are both really good ultimates, Ghost needs to consider the double defensive ult lineup by Immortals. Lucio's ultimate can counter one of those ultimates, I mean, Michael doesn't have his ultimate, so no burst damage, and Zenyatta the other, leaving Immortals with their own Graviton Surge Tracer combo that will, however, be defended with Ajax Sound Barrier most likely. A very worth it trade, however, as it opens up Immortals for a good ult by Agilities, even more so if Immortals won't have to use both defensive ultimates.
Get another Pulse Bomb really soon here. Blam with a Nano Boost, and it's a similar story over on the side of Immortals, however, they don't have a Dragon Blade yet, and there is no Nano for them, so it won't be a Nano Blade when it does break out. Right now, Agility's still trying a little bit to find that same success he's found in previous...
Aethan's Transcendence comes in way too late to save Agilities, so Verbo should have just jumped in and saved it. Losing Aethan this early makes it incredibly difficult for them to apply any pressure to Blam, Grim being the only real pressure here, as Chance can't really do much against Lucio's heal aura and Connor's hook.
His matches Earthshatter already on the field.
Really good sound barrier from Ajax, keeping Remix alive, who had gotten so low on health, and that will actually allow them to engage here beautifully. Transcendence was used by Immortals, and if it weren't for Grim...
You can hear it in the background. Connor being nano boosted during his ultimate may be a little overkill just to kill Hyped, but I guess they want to be safe so that Grim won't be able to single-handedly retake. I think this play shows the amount of respect they have towards Immortals, and that they may think irrationally about Grim Reality's impact. Not having anything to throw into Baby Bay's ultimate next fight is going to hurt them big time, so it's up to Michael to get his ultimate up in time, which could be difficult if Immortals is fast enough, but then again, Ghost needs to engage early, and without Verbo's ultimate, they don't need any follow-up ultimates to wipe them, as long as Blam hits a good nade and a Remix smacks through it.
Reality, I don't know if Immortals would still even be in this fight. He came back to get 2 kills, but Ghosts are still, I mean, so strong presence on the points. It's going to be incredibly difficult for Immortals here. You have Verbo and Agilities both just wasting time. Grim is still in there trying to waste time. They're actually starting to get the reinforcements back into the...
This ultimate has absolutely no follow-up, but with Immortals having no defensive ultimates, there really isn't much they can do about it other than to slowly melt away. But keep in mind that Immortals still has the point, meaning that they are collecting points for as long as they stall.
Fight, and now with the Graviton coming out, they might just be able to turn the tides on the fight in total. Baby Bay's Graviton helping Ghost secure a couple more kills for themselves. Oh, Immortals managing to get it up to at least 60% here. It should be Ghost retaking the point, but Immortals also doing quite a solid job at just stalling out that point and gaining more time.
Getting up to 60% won't really have that big of an effect. With their slow pushes in this game so far, both 50 and 60% would allow for around 2 pushes, so their stall was not as great as you may think it is. It still makes it a lot easier for Immortals to turn it around, but it won't mean that Ghost couldn't still retake or get overtime in case Immortals cap.
Oh, that's 4 back to spawn for Immortals. That's going to be a lot of points going over to Ghost, possibly putting it at match point or possibly putting it right into overtime, but either way, it's going to...
This angle that Michael is holding is probably just to prepare for his ultimate, but it also allows him to see the upper flank Grim is using. The mistake though is Grim and Agility's pushing in way too early. The percentage is at like 81%. They have time. They're forcing it really hard, and since the percentage is higher than around 80%, it will be hard for them to go for another retake if they lose the point, in case they retake it right here, if you know what I mean. It doesn't matter if they force a retake now or wait a little for another opportunity. Grim didn't need to go for overtime, and Adopti just wanted to flank as he doesn't even have his ultimate up. I hope that this video helped you understand A, how many mistakes pros make, and B, how you yourself can start analyzing pro games. I basically tripled the length of the original footage, so if you stuck around until the end, I am very grateful for watching. If you're interested in coaching, check out the description, and I have a Discord server for all students, so if you want to find some like-minded people or post them dank memes, then head over there. My name is Aerostarks, and I would like to thank you for learning.